the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships, and we are just about to get the afternoon session underway. We are just about to get underway. We've got the 120 and the 120 plus juniors. And the big boys are coming out to play now. So Jan Espemer from Austria, 240 kilogram opening lift. And there are going to be some big numbers today. $240 kilogram opening lift. Gets in nice and deep. And he gets it on the board. 2 white lights, that's good enough. So the current world record, 365.5. And Yumi Ohara from Japan, 255. And he is absolutely pumped. At a personal best of 270. Opening at 255, so a good conservative opener. Sinks it deep. Nice, smooth opening lift there. Stuck to his guns, stuck to his technique. And gets it on the board. Zach Schwalk from Canada, 270. Got a top opening lift of 320. And his spotters and loaders are going to be working so hard through this session. Walk out, looks steady. Gets in deep. Has to put in a bit of work there, but it should be a good lift. It is 3 white lights. So Kiran Gray from Great Britain now, 290 kilograms. Just shy of his personal best of 305. $290 kilograms, weighed in at 119.05 today. And smooth all the way through. Plenty of room left to move. And gets the 3 white lights. Dimitra Vok from Ukraine now, 305. casually approaches the bar. And just under his best lift of 310. And of course, Ukrainian team, a pretty solid history of some very solid squatters in these weight classes. And chest up all the way through. And he gets that one on the board. You can see in the replay here, his head up, his chest is up. And he just sticks with that the whole way through. Chest never drops down. So, Quarantine Clement from France, 307. The 307 and a half. Got a big best lift on him is 320. And a little bit of work for an opener. And not deep enough. He's going to be disappointed with that. Kaya from Sweden now, 310. Well under his personal best of 335. And handles that very nicely. Probably going to have to straighten himself up a little bit. So he gets 2 reds there for depth from the front ref and the side ref. He's really going to have to straighten himself up. And the Swedish team coming to the jury. A big opening left now. Daniil from Russia, 310. .310 kilograms. Got a silver medal in the Russian Championships this year with a 332 and a half. Gets that one on the board. Tristan Lazarod from USA now, 315. .315 kilos. A little unsteady in the walkout. Depth looks good. A little bit of work there, but it looks good. It is 3 white lights. And load to 320 now. Cenk Cossack from Turkey. So he had a 330 last year. The World Championships. He's got some big numbers. He's got a little bit of experience. Weighed in at 119.5. One of the heaviest. He's tall and he is solid. 320. Oh, and he just let the chest drop. How on earth is he fighting that? And it's no lift. But boy, how on earth did he fight that? But you can see as he gets to the bottom, his just chest drops down. Bar pushes him forward. Somehow he managed to fight it. So we come around the start for the second lifts. So we'll do all the 120s first, then we'll look at the 120 pluses. Jan Ebersmeer from Austria, 247.5. $247.5. Absolutely huge numbers here. Still under his personal best. Gets in deep. He's having to work hard. And let's see what the referees say. And not deep enough, and it's 3 reds, so there's no contesting it. Yumi Ohara from Japan, 272.5. $272.5 kilograms on the bar. He's got a personal best of 270, so this is going to add a couple more kilos to his resume. And these numbers are just huge. Not unusual to see some pretty decent sized jumps in this weight class. Sinks it in, sticks perfectly to that technique. Doesn't shift from it at all. If we see the replay, you'll have a look. His head stays up, chest stays up. Nothing shifts from that technique at all. Zach Schwalk now from Canada, 282.5. His opener was a little bit of work. Added 12.5. And always looking happy, this kid. Gets in deep and gets it all the way to the top. Might have been tough, but it never really looked in doubt. Corentin Clement now from France, 307. So missed this on his opener. Needs to put this in deep. He's going to have to sit back, lift that chest up. Yeah. Got a second shot at it here. Doesn't want to have to take a third. Depth looks good. That looks a lot better. It is. He gets the 2 whites. It goes on the board. So we go 307.5 again. Kiran Gray, Great Britain, opened at 290. This will give him a personal best. $307.5. That's a big, big personal best. Sinks in deep. That's a good looking lift there. Depth shouldn't be in question. And it's not. 3 white lights and it moves smooth. There's still a bit more in the tank there. So we go to 310 now for Kaya from Sweden. Here he comes. He's fired up for this one. He missed his opener. He just has to sink it in and trust in himself. He has the power. He has the technique. He has the skill set. All right, now it's just a bit of belief. That looks a lot better. And it is. It goes on the board. Part of the reason he got a bit of problem with the depth on that first one is he sits a little off center and it lent a lot to one side on the last one. Dmitra Vok from Ukraine now, 315. $315 kilograms on the bar. This will add 5 kilos to his personal best. And sinks it in. Depth is good. All the way through. Great technique. You can see head up, chest up. Doesn't change throughout the whole lift. And we might get a chance to see the replay. Head is up, chest is up, nothing changes. Takes that deep breath, gets into position. And all the way through. Absolutely spot on the money. Cossack from Turkey now, 320, needs this one, missed it on his opener. He just got all out of sorts at the bottom of his first lift. Came forward, the bar rolled up. Just needs to lift that chest up and keep it up through the whole lift. And he'll be able to power this one up. Just not getting comfortable under the bar there. He's trying to find his position. He's running out of time. He's having to rush it. Just gets in there. And it's a lot of work. It's better than his first one. Gets it on the board. There isn't a whole lot of room to move there. Tristan from the US, 327 and a half. Started at 315. $327.5. Wow. He had to work. But he had to work on his first one too, and that didn't look that much more difficult. Daniil Ermolov from Russia now, 330. So opened at 310, going to 330 now. And great coach in his corner. $330 kilograms. You see that same technique, that was so smooth. Oh, not deep enough. He's got 3 reds, and he's looking around at the board. Can't believe it. And you can see in the replay there, just a little bit shy. Come back round for the third lifts now. Jan Gespermeer from Austria, 247 and a half. So he missed this on his second. $247.5. And just tilted forward on him there. And I think he was a little shallow. He's hit the bottom. You can see his hips pop up and just pushes him forward. Yumi Ohara, 280 kilograms. So give him 10 kilos on his personal best. 280. His first two lifts have been fantastic. And got to the bottom and just lost his tension. And good job from the spotters. He called it. Zach Schwalk from Canada, 290. So 290 kilograms. Just shy of his personal best. His first two lifts were hard work, but they never really looked in doubt. No, this one looks a little bit in doubt. He looked a little bit tentative on the way down there. But, boy, that kid is strong. Dmitry Dvorak from Ukraine now, 320. Just adding 5 kilos from his second. So he's currently ranked number 3 on the squat. There's several lifts to come. And he's probably one of the most casual 120s you'll ever see. Just moseys on up to the bar. Looks at it, says, yeah, 320. I'll take it for a spin. And he's having to switch the turbo on this one, and he gets it there. And he gets the 3 white lights for his work. Kiran Gray, 320. So 320 for Great Britain. At a best lift of 305. And needs to sit it in. Gets in deep. Nearly let the bar manhandle him there, but he stood it up and gets it on the board. Corentin Clement from France, 322.5. That's a big jump from 307.5. I imagine that's probably his planned third lift after missing his third. Sorry, after missing his first. $322.5, still under his personal best. So he didn't have a problem with strength, it was just depth on his first, got on his second. And just a bit too much today. Yeah, it looks a little tender and a little dizzy after that one. Kaya from Sweden, 325. Adding 15 kilos from his second after missing his first. Needs to straighten up a little bit. Oh, he's got the strength. Does he get the depth? Yes, he does. He is happy with that. Senk Cossack now, 330. Now, he missed his 320 opener. Got it on his second. Was super, super hard. Is 10 kilos a stretch? It'll put him in the gold medal position temporarily. His facial expressions aren't portraying a whole lot of confidence for this lift. He looks in a better position this time. No, he's getting re-racked. And he's going to be tough on time here. Just gets in there. He is some sort of crazy strong. How did he stand that up and gets it on the board? That is absolutely ridiculously powerful. And it shoots him temporarily into the gold medal position on the squats. Tristan Nazarod from USA, 335. $335 on the bar. He started at 315. He's finishing on 335 for a personal best. They've been tough, but never in doubt. Neither was this one. Oh, and he gets a depth call on that one. I'm pretty sure the coach is going to have a bit of a chat to the jury on that one. That's what they're there for. You got to pick your moments, and this is the one he's picking. Daniil Ermolov from Russia, 340. Now, he missed his second at 330 on depth, but on weight, it was absolutely easy. He had no problems lifting the load. Can he rectify the depth on this one? Daniil from Russia. 340 kilograms, 22 years of age. Plenty of competition experience. Depth is really good on that one. That looks deep. The referees say it's a good lift. It's on the board. What a way to finish that round, and we go straight into the 120 pluses now. So the world junior record for the 120 plus is 425.5. And of course, Joseph Penn opening on 390. So Hamu Dib, Algeria. Gets in super deep on that one and super smooth all the way to the top. and 3 white lights. Vladislav Emov from Russia now 255. $255 on the bar. Gets it on the board with 2 white lights. Jack Kenny from Ireland looking for 260. And he is fired up for this one. And it is smooth all the way through. And it goes on the board. No messing around with that. Jack Andre Althram from Finland, 265. Two, 6'5", well under his personal best of 272.5. He's big and tall, weighs in at 145. Depth is on point. Let's see what the referees say. And he gets 1 red from the side referee, and I'm pretty sure that's for his knee position. So the knees have to be locked at the start. That one side referee didn't, and at the finish, that one side referee didn't think they were locked properly. Ben Rant, Great Britain. $282.5. This goes to show the strength and durability and quality of an Alico powerlifting bar. Would you be willing to put a normal gym bar through this sort of punishment day in, day out, all day, every day, and trust it? Well, with the Alico you can, and he gets that one to the top with 282.5. It should be good. It is. He gets 2 whites. Joseph Penner, 390. Now he hit a 425.5 last year in Calgary at the World Classic Championships. He hit a 405 recently in the College Nationals. So Joseph Penner, 390.
Yeah, I hear Penna's about to squat, and I come running, my friend.
Well,
I know all about this lad.
He has hit some big numbers. He put the 425.5 on last year in Calgary.
And at 20 years old, the type of progress you can make in a year?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he goes today. He hit a 4:05 earlier this year at the College Nationals. And this young man is an absolute powerhouse.
He looks slightly not quite straight on with us, which is fine. That's nice.
Yeah, he was a bit off center there. You could see just as he got to the top of the lift and got rack command, it just started to lean him a little bit.
I don't want
on
to.
the board. Have a look. If we might get to see in the replay. I'm not sure if we'll get to the end of it.
He just.
As he gets to the top, he's fine. He's steady. He's stable. Gets the rack command. You can see just starting to lean him there. Probably just rushed his setup. First lift.
You want to get out the way?
Yeah, look, everyone forgets, as good as he is, he's 21 years of age. You rush things, you get nervous, you're going to make these mistakes. You make them when you're 30, you make them when you're 40 as well. So
something to be said about Penn, and you just hit the nail on the head. He's 20 years old. There is some talk, if any junior is ever going to reach the 1,000-pound, the precious 1,000-pound mark, the hope fall on Penn. That's a lot of pressure to put on a kid, but at 21, he's getting close, and he's still got a couple more years. We'll see.
Vladislav Nemov from Russia, 265. And you missed some excitement in the 120s. Absolute powerhouses in the 120s.
Whoa, we got tilted forward in the hole.
Wow, that was a tough lift. His 255 was fantastic. Have a look at the replay.
Yeah, it might have just been when he hit the hole, he got buckled forward right there. And then...
yeah, this looks like he tried to pull a little bit shy there. Yeah, sometimes that can happen. When you pull up a little bit short, your hips pop up a little bit. It pushes you forward. When you drop into that hole there, you're able to keep that chest up a little bit higher. This guy is super strong. Hamo Dib from Algeria. He made his 240 look like a warm-up.
30-kilo jump from his opener. He looks to be slightly facing.
It was a good second lift. A little bit of work in it, but still not too much. You know you're doing well when you say 270. Yeah, it's a little bit of work. So we got a 272 for Jack Kenny.
Already entering into the 600s. And when Penn squats, we're getting close to the 900s already. It's
272.5 for Jack Kenny.
.23 years old, just shy of 134 kilos in body weight. These gentlemen are big. Dep looks good.
Oh, he's gonna have to. He's putting in the fight. Wow.
That was a hell of a fight. I don't think the bar came up down. It looks good to me.
It is.
It's they're gonna want to be careful with that third attempt.
If you ever get the chance, if you're a big guy, if you ever get the chance, walk at the back in the warm-up room, the 120 pluses. I weigh in at around 105, 107, and I walk out there and I look like the little guy.
Yeah, it's a humbling experience.
I remember standing next to Ray Williams last year, and I looked like a schoolboy.
It's like walking in the back room is walking into Fantasyland, and it's all giants.
You've climbed the beanstalk, and here they are. Andre Ahlstrom from Finland, 275.
10-kilo jump. This is 2.5 kilo more than he's ever squatted before. See if it's as big a fight as our previous lifter. It's deep.
Never in question there, was it? And
that was pretty.
I'll tell you, that was smooth.
Relatively smooth.
He gets it on the board and just casually walks off.
Ben Rant, Big Ben.
Here he comes, 297.5. Weighs in at 160.
Just shy of that round 300 kilo.
Big Ben is an understatement.
Yeah, 160 kilo body weight.
looking for 297.5.
Depth is there.
Yeah, from this angle, it looks pretty good. And he gets it on the board.
2-1, good enough.
Yeah, and when you're looking at the heavyweights, you're often going to see 2-1. I mean, they're big guys. You know, they've really got to push down into depth, and they do sit sometimes a little bit unevenly. So it's not unusual to see 2-1.
Yeah, you know, powerlifters of all weight classes sometimes also have one hip that's a little higher than the other when they squat. So that's why you got three officials.
We're not symmetrical. So Joseph Penner.
400 kilo.
Wow. It's just, 21 years of age.
It's mind-boggling. It's a second attempt for a junior.
Wow.
That
is just phenomenal. And you're right, it's only a second attempt.
Yeah, listen, the place is hush. Everybody has stopped what they're doing, and all eyes are on platform 1, where Joseph Penna is turning it into the Joseph Penna show.
400 kilograms. Let's see how this moves.
The walkout alone is going to take some energy. It's got to let that weight settle.
He's taken a relatively small jump
Yep.
for this weight class.
I got it.
We say 10 kilos is a small jump. For this weight class, it isn't a really big jump.
It's puny for this weight class.
And that was a bit tougher than I was expecting, so probably a good choice. Maybe just feeling the travel a little bit.
Called
Not
on depth.
deep enough. Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does.
See the replay. Yeah, from that angle, it looked a little.
Interesting to see if he goes up at all. We just saw in the 120s, the Russian missed his second on depth, went up in weight and had no problems. Vladislav Nemov, 265. Now, he just seemed to misgroove everything on his second, didn't he? It's hard to remember sometimes. I mean, these guys are absolutely huge monsters. You forget that they're 20, 21, 22 years of age.
They're young. And, well, look, he's 23. He's a junior, already a 9-year veteran, though, coming from Russia. And obviously powerlifting is a big sport in Russia. Getting close to a decade in the game, despite his age. Yeah, you forget how young they are because they're so big and been in the game so long.
Just got to sink it in.
That's deep.
That looks a lot better, and you can see sinking it down a bit further there. Kept his chest up.
Yeah,
he gets it on the board.
Kept the bar pass straight up, straight down, and
yeah, you can see in the replays he hits the bottom there. He's able to keep that chest. He tried to bully him a little bit, but he held on to it. Right now, 280. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Here comes Holstrom. 280 kilos, weighs in at 145.
Yeah, it works. 5 kilo jump. Representing Finland. Previous total PR 765. He hits this. All he needs is nothing but openers, and he's already there, having a huge day.
And there's a lot of weight. If you see an Elite bar flexing, there is an absolute bucket load on there because they do not flex easily.
Depth is good.
Oh, he puts in the fight. He's got a bit of a grind in him, which is good.
He forces those knees out, and the core stays tight.
And you know what? I mean, that's what you've got to do with those knees. You've got to drive them out. They want to fall in. Great lift. Jack Kenny, Ireland, 300.
He's taken 300 kilo even, and it's one of those romanticized numbers because it is that big 300 kilo club. Walking in, his previous best was 257.5 kilo. That is a big jump in performance.
A big change.
And it's when it's a big jump in performance like that, when you're hitting those romanticized milestones like 300, you almost got to put. You wonder if the coaching staff even told him when he's about to squat, because you had mentioned earlier sometimes mentally it gets in your head.
I mean, it can get in your head. There's those milestone numbers.
The difference between 297.5 and 300 kilo technically is 2.5, but there's a whole lot more to it.
In the head, it just seems like so much more.
Speaking of, is he winding down the clock?
Like he has wound down the clock. Interesting. Might have decided that's all he's got in the tank. Give the guy some rest and hold on to a little bit. I mean, he's in a position. Well, it's interesting because he's sort of in a position where he could actually take a charge for the bronze medal in the end. But he's going to need a lot of energy in his tank to do that. And he might have decided that 272.5 was his limit. Any more, and I'm going to use too much.
He also might have loaded the same as what Dib was about to come out with, just so you have to reload any extra weight for the spider loaders, knowing he wasn't coming out for another.
Yeah, a bit of sportsmanship there. I'm out Dib from Algeria, 300. Let's see if it's as smooth as his first two.
Now his profile says he's hit 320, so we're not expecting 300 to intimidate him, but this is the world standard he's got to hit it at. And this is a giant of a man towering over these spotters and loaders.
And these spotters aren't small.
No, they are not small. They're all around 200 kilo themselves. Whoa, that's deep.
Way too deep, I think, on that one.
Yeah, a little too deep.
He knows exactly where he went wrong there.
You could be strong all day, but you can't go that deep. You'll see in the replay, that is way, trying to get a little bounce out of the bottom, but
a little bit too far. Ben Rant from Great Britain, 310, Big Ben.
He's hit 317.5, staying a little below that, trying to ensure a 3-for-3 day, because as you had pointed out, to get on the podium, it's going to be tight.
It is going to be really tight. You're going to have to not just hit the big numbers, but you're going to have to manage your energy as well. $310. Oh, and he gets it there. Is he good enough on depth?
I think so from my angle. Judges agree.
He is. And Joseph Penn now puts on the 405. I thought he'd throw an extra few kilos on there. I mean, he's got his opener on the board. He's secure. That's all he needs to be doing for this one. He's got the opportunity. You know what? Throw a few more on. I'll see if I can get it down there.
5 kilo isn't going to do anything in terms of like a 400 kilo. When you walk out 400, you walk out 40.
It's not going to feel any different on
his
back.
Mentally, to know you're not staying in the same place sometimes helps a lifter.
Yeah, and for him, I mean, that's the number he hit at the Nationals this year. So for him, it's a bit of a mental thing,
Yeah.
Not going backwards, always moving forward.
Exactly, and that's a big deal with powerlifters. It's a big deal with athletes. You can't feel like you're staying in one place. You can't feel like you're going backwards.
This is just a mental number for him. And we know it wasn't an issue with weight. He really just has to sink down a little bit further. Joseph Penner.
Looks better.
It looks better.
Looks good from our point of view.
Let's
and the
see what
judges.
the referees say.
They thought so too.
On the board at 405.
Back on track, and I got to go back to my platform. I'm glad I got to see the squat show.
It is all action here. Well, you've just seen at 405, these guys are putting on some absolutely huge numbers. Don't go anywhere. Get your chips, get your drinks, get back in your seats. In 10 minutes, we're back here with the 120, 120 plus bench press. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden. The 2019 IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships brought to you by none other than Alico, who just continually raise the bar, Uplift and SPD. And the big boys have come out to play. We've got the 120 and 120 plus juniors, and it is heating up. There are some absolutely huge numbers going on the board. And we are about to start the bench press session. And Yumi Ohara from Japan, 157.5. The world record, 240 kilograms. Massive numbers. And top opener lifter, 227.5. So 157.5. And that should go on the board. Jan Jebesmir from Austria now, 162.5. Looking for 162.5. Got a personal best of 177.5. Nice touch. And puts it in the rack. And gets the 3 white lights. Zach Schwalk now from Canada, 175. And he was enjoying every moment of that squat session. And I reckon he's going to enjoy every moment of this bench session as well. Oh, great opening press. Yeah, that one's on the board. Kaya from Sweden, 180. Weighs in at 116.45, so middle of the range. (23 years of age). And oh, he's a bit wobbly on the left there, but gets it to the top. And registers a lift. Daniil Emilov from Russia now, 185. Super strong young man. And already plenty of experience under his belt. The best lift of 205 kilograms. And these guys are super, super mobile for such big men. And that should be a good opening lift. It is. It's on the board. He'll be happy with that. Didn't have it all his own way on the squats. Corentin Clement from France now, 195. Opening on a personal best. Really taking his time here. It's that chest up. There's that close foot position. And it's worked very, very well for him. Plenty of leg drive. He gets it on the board. Cenk Cossack from Turkey now, 200. Got a best lift of 222.5. Managed to get a 330 squat. Certainly it wasn't the cleanest of squats we've ever seen, but he got the job done. And that was certainly a lot better than his squats. That looked very clean. Looks like bench is his real area of expertise. So Kiran Gray now from Great Britain. He wants 200 as well. A personal best 212 and a half. And it looks like it should be a good lift. It is. So Tristan Azarod from USA now, 205. He's 10 kilos shy of his best lift. $205 kilograms. Absolutely huge numbers, and we're only looking at round one. And it's a good lift. It's on the board. Dmitry Vok from Ukraine now, 227 and a half. Just under his personal best. And probably the most calm and casual 120 I've ever seen. And he just moseys on out and gets the job done. So 227 and a half. Big breath, chest up. And 227.5 looks like a warm-up lift. And US Mayor from Austria, 165 for his second. So 165. And looking for that quick touch. Gets the press call. Has to work it all the way to the top. And gets the lights. Yumi Ohara from Japan. 167.5. Looking for an equal PB for his second. And he's having to fight all the way. Somehow he managed to fight that and he gets it to the top and he gets 2-1. It's a good lift. It was a tough job for him though. So 185 now, Zach Schwalk from Canada. $185. He's bringing a bit of intensity to this one now. All right, it's time to go to work. And O'Hara has scratched his third. Imagine he's just decided that there's nothing left in the tank for the bench. Or he may have sustained a little bit of a strain on that right side, which would certainly explain why that right side was struggling so much to come up. Kaya from Sweden, 185. $185 kilograms, 10 kilos shy of his personal best, and got off his chest really well, had plenty of speed. He gets it on the board, but you can see that left side just slowed right down. And he had plenty of drive, plenty of speed. Daniil from Russia, 195. His opening lift looked very easy. Looked more like a warm-up. $195, taking his time. And there's still some room to move on that one. He gets the 195 on. So Constantine Clement now, 202.5. So give him a personal best. This will put a personal best on the board. His opener was good. Oh, and that was just a bit too tough. It came off his chest super fast and then just came to a complete halt. And it just didn't seem to want to move any further. I think Cossack from Turkey now, 210. Opened at 200 and it was super smooth. Now looking for 210. And I get the feeling that bench is his thing. And looking at the numbers, deadlift might be his thing as well. But he looked great on his opener at 200. He is a big, big guy, weighing the top of the range, 119.5. Now, good second lift there. Probably not too much more space to move on it. Interesting to see. Might put a 5 kilo increase on there. So Kiran Gray from Great Britain now wants 210. So 210 for Kiran Gray. Oh, fantastic second lift there. Looked as good as a first. Tristan Nazarod now, USA, 212.5. Just shy of his personal best of 215. He's been looking good on bench though. Two 12.5. And he's having a fight, but he gets it there. Not too much room left in that tank now. Dmitry Roth from Ukraine, 237.5. Will we see any fire? Or is he going to walk out casual again? Yep, here he comes. Hold my beer. Going to go and lift this one. And he is just so relaxed about the stress. It doesn't seem to affect him. The pressure doesn't seem to get to him. He's just going to do his job. And very nice second lift. Goes on the board. So we come around for our third round now. Van Gerbersma from Austria, 167.5. His opening two lifts have been solid. What can he do with his third? And he gets it on the board. Kaya from Sweden, 185. Just 10 kilos shy of his personal best. Missed this on his second. Just going to need to get that drive off the chest going. Really explode. Oh, and that left slowing down, but he gets it there. And he gets the two white lights. Zach Schwalk, 190. Could be a nice little personal best. He looks like he's enjoying it. He looks like he's fired up. Oh, and he gets it there. He had to fight it. He gets it on the board, though. He's happy with that one. Corentin Clement from France, 202.5. So 202.5. He's missed this on his second. He's running the clock down a little bit here. So he may be letting the clock run down by the look of it. So doesn't seem to be a whole lot of movement out there, so he might be running the clock back down and leaving his time on the board. And of course, our great sponsors, Alico, who continue to raise the bar. And we don't just talk about them because they're sponsors, we talk about them because they really are fantastic. What they do for the sport is absolutely phenomenal. They have equipped so many championships just like this over the years. They provide junior development sports, and they continue to develop their products. Their bars, their powerlifting bar, introduced in 1983, I think. Pretty much the same bar now as it was then, with a few little changes to the bushes and the bearings, but generally the same bar. That's how good it is. So Daniil Ermolov from Russia will be our next lifter at 202.5. This is his third attempt, just under his personal best. And just adding a few kilos here and a few kilos there. And those extra couple of kilos are just slowly going to move him up the rankings. Not getting caught up in any little games. And that looks good. It is. It's on the board. So 212.5 now. Well, St. Gusak from Turkey. Has had 2 good lifts so far. And I think it's safe to say that he enjoys bench press a lot more than he enjoys squats. The 212.5. And he's having a fight and just not going to quite get there on that one. He pushed it just a little bit too far. So we look for 215 now for Tristan Nazarod from USA. You can see these guys, their intensity just increasing every round. $215. He's had 2 good lifts. This will equal his personal best. And he's got to put in the fight, but he gets it there. I think it's good. It is. So we go 217.5 now for Kiran Gray. So it'll be a nice personal best. Can he put it on the board? His previous 2 lifts were good. This is 7.5 kilos though. Last year as a junior. And it looks good. And not to be outdone, Dimitra Vok from the Ukraine has decided, I'd like to take a crack at the world record. Thank you. And he's put on 240.5. Now his 237.5 moved well, but it was a bit of work. Now he's looking for 240.5 for a world junior record. 240 kilos, 0.5 kilos. To chip the world record. And that world record recently owned by Maxim Potomkin from the Ukraine, set in Killeen, Texas in 2016. The taking is from his fellow Ukrainian. And he's going to have to work, but he gets it to the top. What do the referees say? It is. He puts it on the board as a new world record. Wow, what a way to finish the bench in the 120s. So we move straight to the 120 pluses now. Jack Kenny, Ireland, 165. And it just gets better and better. On the world record for the 120 pluses, 245.5. Set in 2018 in Lithuania. Owned by Pavlo Nakonechny from Ukraine. But Jack Kenny now, 165. nice opening lift there. Not too much work. He's going to have plenty of energy left in the tank. $165, 5 shy of his personal best. And gets 2 red lights there. Now the yellow cards are usually for some sort of lifting out of position. Just couldn't quite catch the replay there. Hamoud Dib from Algeria, 175. So 5 shy of his personal best. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Holstrom goes up at all or sticks to the 165. And nice fast opening lift. Gets it on the board. He's got 1 red there. And I think it might have been for head. I can't really see from that angle. Big Ben. Ben Rant for Great Britain, 177.5. $177.5. A monster of a lift. And that should be a good lift. It is. Vladislav Nemov from Russia, 180. $180 kilograms for Vladislav Nemov from Russia. And that should be a good lift. It is. So 205 now. Joseph Penner. $205 kilograms. Here he comes for 205. Just shy of his personal best. Taking his time. And gets it back to the top. Probably not quite as fast as he'd like it to be, but it's a good lift. Here he comes. 145 kilos of him. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Here comes Holstrom. looking for 165. Is he going to get a bit fired up for this one? Had no problem with the weight, just a technicality. Now, from this angle, everything looks good. And it is good. It's on the board. So Jack Kenny from Ireland. I always thought Jack was the normal person in Jack and the Beanstalk, but apparently Jack is the giant. With Jack Kenny from Ireland, 175. And gets it on the board. That should be 3 whites. It is. It's a good lift. Amal Dib from Algeria, 185. Just chalking his hands up there. $185. This will give him a personal best. And he's going to work a little bit, but there it goes. Gets it to the top. Vladislav Nemov from Russia now, 185 as well. Just below his personal best. And he's having to put the fight in, but it's just a little too heavy. He's just going to have to get a bit more power off the chest for that one. So we have a look at the replay. And his descent was pretty good. And just didn't get a whole lot of leg drive through that one. Big Ben Rant from Great Britain, 187.5. This should be a personal best by about 2.5 kilos. And gets the 2 whites, that's good enough. And he just had a look at the head ref for the indication of what the yellow and the red was for, and his head just lifting off the bench a little. Joseph Penn, 210, equaling his personal best. So he hit a 210.5 at the College Nationals this year. He did a 210 at the Arnold Sports Festival. And he's been constantly up above the 200 since 2018. So here he goes with 210. And it's a little bit of work for him, but it's there. Come around for our third list now. Feet, fight, faux farm. Here comes Holstrom for 172.5. Had a bit of trouble with 165 in his first, mostly technical issues. Nailed it on his second, now looking for 172.5. Andre Holstrom, 172.5. It certainly wasn't the tidiest of bench presses, but it certainly got the job done. Giant Jack Kenny from Ireland. Looks like he might have eaten the beanstalk and Jack all at once. And he's a little bit more fired up this time round. Wants the 180. It'll be a nice 10 kilo personal best. And he puts it to the top. And they give him the 3 white lights. Vladislav Yemov from Russia, 185. Missed this on his second. He was super strong on his opener at 180. And anyone would have honestly thought 185 would have been in the ballpark. But he just didn't get it moving. Couldn't seem to get the leg drive. If he gets everything put together on this one, it'll fly up. And it's just a little too much. Just can't seem to get the position on it. So Hamal Dib from Algeria, 187.5. So previous personal best, 180. And has already made short work of that, but this is going to solidify that one. $187.5. Then we'll have Big Ben Rant with 190 and Joseph Penner with 212.5. And he's got the fight, but it's got the better of him. Now here comes Big Ben Rant for 190 from Great Britain. Well, and you're certainly not going to lose him in a crowd. Weighed in at 160 today. And that looks like a nice lift. It is 3 white lights, now 212.5 for Joseph Penner. $212.5 kilograms. Personal best previous was 210. Did that this year at the Arnold Sports Festival. He's actually done a 210.5 at the College National Powerlifting Championships in the US. And it's still going. Has it continued up all the way? It has. He gets it on the board with 212.5. And these are some absolutely outstanding numbers, outstanding weights. Don't go too far away. 10 minutes time, we're going to be kicking off back here and watch these guys battle it out on the deadlifts. Welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden, the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. And we are just about to get the deadlift on the way. The big boys have come out to play, the 120s and the 120 plus juniors. And boy, these guys are putting on a show today. Now, an interesting little turn of events there. Clement from France has scratched his deadlifts, so we can only assume that he's maybe got a little bit of a strain or something from the bench press and has decided safety is the first option. Right now, Yumi Ohara, Japan, 242 and a half. So the current world record, 363. It was set back in 2016. Now, top opener lifter, 325. So, looks like Senk Kosek from Turkey has dropped his opener. It was 330. And that should be a good lift for O'Hara. It is. Now, I'd imagine Cossack has dropped his opener to 325, probably feeling a little bit of fatigue from those squats. So, playing a bit of a safer card. Needs to get that opener on the board. Right now, Zach Schwock from Canada, 255. And this young man is having the time of his life today. And that should be a good one. And we're just waiting for the referee's lights. And just waiting for the referee's lights there. And there it is, 3 whites on the board. So it's 280 now. Dimitro Vok, who had a great bench session and took the world record. Now, we haven't seen him fired up at all yet. He's still casual. He gave a bit of a hand wave after he got the world record on the bench. Let's see if he gets it fired up at all on the deadlifts. He's a very, very calm lifter. And 280 doesn't seem to be a problem for him at all. So we change to 295 now for Kiran Gray from Great Britain. Just starting to bring a little bit of intensity now. Takes a big, big breath. And gets it all the way to the top. Wanders on off. Thank you very much. I'll take that. So we get a 300 now for Daniil Emilov from Russia. $300 kilos on the bar, 22 years of age, and well under his personal best. And that looks like a nice opener. It is 3 white lights. Dan Gewesmar from Austria, 305. $305 kilograms. Well under his personal best of 327.5. He's bringing the intensity to the platform right now. using the roll-in technique. And that is a tough opening lift. Well below his personal best. He is not happy with himself. So we stay at 305. Kaya from Sweden now. Oscar, a very familiar face in his corner. Doing a great job this week. 305. Gets to the top. Lockout was a little tough. But he gets the lights. And it's just a little bit of a head spin as he walks off there. And he gets the job done though. And Nazarod from USA, 305. Oh, that was a tough opener. But he gets the lights. And now we go to 325 for Cossack from Turkey. He dropped his opening lift. He needs to put this on the board. He is a favorite for the gold medal. But he has to put this one on first to solidify that total. And then he can go to work. And here he goes, takes it for a spin. And makes it look easy. And it's on the board. So made a wise decision dropping his opener. That looked easy, didn't steal a lot of energy from him. And he's still got a bit of room to move. So we get a 260 now for Yumi Ohara from Japan. And these spotters and loaders are working absolute overtime now. The 260s on the bar, Yumi Ohara. Very calm about this lift. And it just doesn't seem to want to move for him. He has lifted that before. But you start to drain the tank a little bit. So Zach Schwach, Canada 270. Still under his personal best, so managing that well. He is fired up. And makes short work of 270. He's happy with that one. Dmitry Vok from the Ukraine now, 300 kilograms. Is he going to get a little bit more fired up yet? He has been very calm all the way through, hitting his numbers, takes the world record in bench. And he is just such a calm lifter. The stress doesn't get to him at all. He just comes out and does his thing, and he's staying right in touch with the podium finish. Just behind, with enough room in the tank to pounce. And that's a good, convincing second lift. With that lift, he says, you know what, I've still got a little bit more in the tank, so let's see what you've got. Maybe I'll lift for a bronze. Jan Gewesmere from Austria, 305. Missed this on his opener. Needs to put it on the board now. And wants to put it on now rather than later. Now's the time to do it. And he's firing up. That's more like it. It's moving. Can he squeeze it through? He gets the lockout. Let's see what the referees say. He gets the job done. There isn't a whole lot of room to move, but he gets it on the board and gets his total. Kiran Gray from Great Britain, 317.5. $317.5 for Kiran Gray. And makes short work of 317.5. Made that look easy. Daniil Ermolov from Russia, 320 now. He is just doing his job, waiting to see if any opportunities present themselves. And if they do, he is going to be ready to pounce. So it's all well and good chasing after the gold, but you've got to watch out behind you as well. Gets it to the top. It was a tough lift. And he gets it on the board. There's not too much room left there. He's going to get out to the back, hit some recovery, get some fluids in. Coach is having a chat about what to put in next. Nazarod from the US, 322.5. $322.5. And he's having to work. He's squeezing it through. He gets it there. Has he done enough? He has. 2 whites. So we go 329, 325 now for Kaya. $325. Opened at 305. This is just below his personal best. Moves fast off the floor. Gets it to the top. The lock looks good from here. It is. A Cossack from Turkey now with 340. Now, if he puts puts this on the board with one more lift to go. And put himself in a position to go for gold. He was fantastic on the bench. Gets it moving super fast. And he has got a lot more room to move there. It's on the board. Will he take the 13? I think he'll go maybe 250, 255, 355. We'll see. 260 now for O'Hara. He just couldn't get it moving before. Here he comes, Yumi O'Hara from Japan. It didn't want to move before. It didn't want to move before. Let's see if we can get it moving now. And Cossack's put in a 352.5. That'll take him to 892.5 for the world total record. And he just has nothing left in the tank. He's given it everything today. Zach Schwach, 282.5. So 282.5, still less than his personal best. He's had a fantastic day today, having an absolute ball. He's been having a lot of fun. And he gets it there very nicely. Great way to finish. Very, very nicely done, and shakes the hands of all the referees. Dmitra Vok from Ukraine now, 310. So this will give him an 870.5, 0.5 kilos. And it'll temporarily roll him up into silver medal overall, with several lifters still to come. But we know about probabilities and final lifts. And just such a calm lifter. He looks a little bit more fired up this time. He's breathing a little bit heavier. Just so calm, doesn't let the stress get to him, doesn't let the noise get to him. He has a job to do. Oh, great pull to finish. 310, it's on the board, and I think that was a good choice. I don't think there was much more in there. So Jan Jebesmer now from Austria, 325. Big, big jump from 305. I imagine this is probably where he intended to finish, or thereabouts. So this will temporarily move him up into bronze medal position overall and third for the deadlift. But it's a big call. 305, he missed on his first one, it just didn't want to move. And really had to work hard for 305 on his second. So it's a bit of a Hail Mary, this one, but boy, he's got it moving. And just a bit of a head spin there. He's absolutely fine. Completely normal response. Kiran Gray, 327.5. So looking for 327.5 for Kiran Gray. This is going to shoot him up into second position on the deadlift temporarily, and it's going to shoot him up to third position overall. $10-kilo jump, personal best. His other lifts have looked good. And he gets it there, and he gets it on the board. So he rolls up into the bronze medal. And now has to wait and see. Daniil from Russia now, 330. Now we've had a change put in, so it'll be Tristan Nazalod, 327.5. This will roll him up into the bronze medal position in deadlift and overall. Only 5 kilos from his previous lift. Has he got the energy left? Oh, just couldn't quite get it past his knees there. But put in a massive effort. So now Daniil from Russia will pull 330. This will move him to second in the deadlifts. And it'll move him to second overall on this one pull. So he's pulling for a silver medal. He's going to pull for a silver medal. It is a big call. It is equal to his personal best. His 320 was tough. He is going to have to use everything he's got to get this one on the board. It's going to take everything he's got. He's got it moving. He's got it moving. And just couldn't quite hang on to it. He gave that everything. He can walk away with his head held high. That he left it all out there. So Cossack has the gold medal in the deadlift in his pocket, has the gold medal overall in his pocket. Gray gets the silver overall in the deadlift. Kaya gets the bronze in the deadlift. Hawk from the Ukraine gets the silver overall. And Gray from Great Britain gets the bronze overall. And this one here is for world total record, 352.5 deadlift. This will be a world junior total record. He has looked good on the deads. His 340 moved really well. He has the gold dead. He has the gold overall. Wants to put a record in that pocket with them. Nothing like some world record wrapping paper. Moves fast. He's got a lock. He's there. Gets the down command. It looks good. It is. He gets the world total record and he goes home a world champion. What an absolute effort from such a rough start on those squats. What a way to finish. But right now we move straight to the 120 pluses. And Big Ben Rant from Great Britain is looking for 265. So these guys need to put these on the board to solidify their totals. No lift has ever been more important than opening deadlift to solidify that total. You've worked so hard all day. This is the one you need. And that was a good opening lift choice there. It just flew up off the floor. And he can breathe a sigh of relief. His total is on the board. So we go to 270. Vladislav Nimov from Russia. So the world record 385, world total record 1010.5. And he puts that one on the board. And of course, none other than Ryan Six-Pack Labadat somehow managed to smell the action happening and comes over at just the right time. We're just hitting the 120 pluses now. You missed a great show in the 120s.
Yeah, I heard the commotion on this side of the stadium. Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, Cossack from Turkey, 352.5 to finish on his deadlift. Took the world total record at 892.5. Now, what makes it extra special is when he opened with his squats, he looked like it was going to be a really bad day.
Really, yeah.
And somehow he got through his squats. Bench was beautiful, deadlifts were beautiful. So I'm guessing he likes the bench, likes the deadlift. Not a big fan of the squats.
You know, I love it when a young guy shows a type of maturity and poise to turn the day around.
Giant Jack now from Ireland, 290.
Giant Jack, I like it.
Well, he's eaten Jack in the beanstalk already. And you know what? The other great thing about Cossack was he did show some maturity. He had his opener in for his deadlift, dropped it by 5 kilos before the start of the deadlift session, knowing he was going to be a bit tired from the squats, a bit tired from the bench, and smoked his opener.
Yeah, it takes a lot of maturity to understand energy management is huge in terms of powerlifting. And the future's bright with guys like Cossack from Turkey.
So Joseph Penn, 295.
Speaking of a bright future.
And this one, he's got to put this on the board.
Locks those lats, and away she goes.
And that should be a good lift.
295. Not much struggle.
So
3
his
white
total
lights.
is on the board now, and let's be honest, his total 912.5. Unless someone can add about 200 kilos to their deadlift,
yeah,
gold medal is already in his pocket.
Yeah, and how did Joseph's bench press go?
Yeah, Joe's bench was good. I mean, obviously he's not the bench specialist, but he was solid all the way through.
Looks like he got a gold medal in bench regardless, or?
Yeah, he's still at the top there. I mean, you can certainly tell that he's much more comfortable on the squat and the deadlift. So, Amal Dib from Algeria, 305. Ooh, he leant forward a little bit there at the top just before he locked.
Yeah, let's see.
A little bit awkward, but the bar was okay.
It looks okay as he struts off there.
He
Yeah,
was just a little bit awkward at the top there, wasn't he?
Sometimes you can kind of get a little pulled out of position, and sometimes it's the opener that'll do that to you. You don't quite get as amped up for an opener as you should, but you got to stay tight. A little wobble.
Yeah, sometimes that's the one that does it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here he comes, 145 kilos of him, fee, fi, fo, fum. Here comes Holstrom, 320. Look, out the back later tonight, everyone's going to be doing that for him. he'll thank me later.
Not unless he enjoys it. A little hip pump to break the inertia off the ground.
And a good opener there.
320s in the books, and that's his opener. 322.5 used to be his previous best.
He smoked 320, so
fast gains.
Fast.
Hard to do a lot of scouting on these gentlemen. When you're around 21 years old, the progress comes quick, and they work hard.
So Ben Rant, Big Ben Rant, 382.5, Great Britain.
17.5 kilo jump. We're just 2.5 kilo below his personal best.
Weighs in at 160. Not the sort of guy you're going to lose in a crowd.
Not if he's looking for you.
Quick, look inconspicuous.
Still move pretty well.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty safe second.
3 white lights.
He's left a little bit in the tank if he needs to, if he wants to pull a bit harder for something.
Looking ahead, I mean, he's neck and neck for that silver.
Yeah,
but
and he's left a little bit in the tank to go for that if he needs to.
Right behind, though, Dib from Algeria, if there's going to be a shakeup and a fight for the podium in the end.
Vladislav Nemov from Russia, 285. Ooh, that looks like. It looks like he's just feeling a bit stiff. He's not walking. Yeah, I just saw him just motion to his back quickly there. Just looks like he might have felt something not quite right. Put it back down. Probably absolutely nothing, and just playing it safe, which I think is a really smart move. Giant Jack from Ireland, 302.5.
133 kilo young man, towering over all of the spotters, living up to his new nickname. This is his previous best.
Well, his opener moved well. Oh, he's had to do some work for that one.
It's work. You could see the knees knocking. The engine had to turn on and rev a little bit. 2 whites is all you need, but we're getting close to that line, aren't we?
Not a whole lot there. You know, I mean, I don't think there's enough in the tank to. He might be able to get up to fourth position. Joseph Penn now 307.5.
Joseph Penn should have quite a bit on the tank. This young man oodles strong. We haven't seen him press today, if pressed.
He's never
Sky's
really
the limit.
been in doubt.
I love how he locks those lats
really
into
see
place.
It, can't you? You really tilt forward. You can see the lats lock in. Lats lock in.
I feel your pain, buddy. Yeah,
like
well,
15
15-hour days eventually catch up to you. But he does. He locks his lats, sits back, pulls the slack out of the bar, and then it starts to rise. Very patient.
And if you're watching at home and you're new to the deadlift and you're still learning, that is probably the best bit of advice anyone can give you. Lock the lats, take the slack out of the bar. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what you want to be doing. Hamal Dib from Algeria. And this guy is just a walking tower.
This will equal his personal best at 320. 15-kilo jump. It's reasonable. If he hits this, it'll temporarily move him into 3rd place and into a gold medal position for Deds. Obviously, a lot of room to go here. We haven't even started the 3rd round. But
you know what the probabilities are on 3rd rounds in Deds?
Yeah.
You know, especially when they start pushing each other.
It is going to be a good indicator how much he has left.
You know what? He gets it fast off the floor, but there's not a left in the top.
Oh.
Yeah, he got it on the board, but there's not much left in the top for lockout, is there?
Yeah, it could have been ramping. Could have been up, down, but it wasn't 2-1, and I'm sure they'll take it. But it's an indicator we're nearing the end.
Andre Holstrom, 330. This will be a big personal best for him.
As the biggest deadlifter, he'll get to pull last. So whatever medal he
it's
wants,
a bit of a bonus for him there.
Yeah.
I mean, he can just hang in there. He can protect his bronze. He has a chance to go after the silver.
slow and steady. You know these.
Yeah, look, it was smooth though. It never looked in doubt with it.
A lot of the seconds though, we're getting close. You mentioned it before, and I think we're seeing a bit of foreshadowing. There's going to be some misses, and with misses, if 3 guys miss and 1 guy hits, there's a shakeup.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing with your second. You want to get something reasonable on there for your second. Because there's a good probability when these guys start pushing each other, you're going to see some misses. So if you can get a second on that pushes you up to, say, silver in the deadlifts, knowing that, there's 5 guys after you in the, in the third round that have probably got a bigger deadlift. But when they start pushing, there's a good chance those 5 guys are going to miss. So if you've got a good second in there, it's not always going to happen, but sometimes luck's just going to be on your side.
Yeah,
and your second can get you up into the medals.
We've seen shakeups, and then if somebody's ever pacing themselves for that final big pull, and you're the only one who's going to make their third, it's a 50-50.
Big Ben. You see is that the coach there just gave him tried to give him a bit of a shove out into the platform.
Like pushing against a building.
I don't think he actually noticed it. There's a bit of a look at the referee. Is that good enough, sir?
Give it to me. 3 white lights, 290.
But it gets it to the top there, turns his head, takes a bit of a look. What do you think? Is that okay?
He shifted himself into a silver medal position so far.
Yeah,
we got a little bit of pulling to go.
I think that was a good choice of weights there.
Yeah.
He might have had a few more kilos in him.
But
this one was the safer one, and you know what? If a few guys miss, it works out in your favor.
We talked about the percentages. You want to go with the higher percentage every time, especially if a podium finish is on there. Tip a little too over and you miss.
Well, Giant Jack now, 307.5.
This will move him into a bronze medal for deadlift. He would like to have a nice little trinket to bring home. Oh, all types of fight. Gets the shoulders back.
I think he's got it there. It looks good from this angle.
3 white lights. And if temporarily, has a bronze medal around his neck.
You never know. Joseph Penn at 320.
Joseph, already the world champion, and that's locked up. But he wants to get a little greedy and take that bronze medal away.
Yeah, he wants to move right up the top there. It's a fairly big jump, 320. It's a big personal best for him as well. 312.5 is his best lift.
You can see his total itching closer and closer to the highly coveted 1,000 kilo total.
Yeah, so he's 312.5. He's listed his best lift. Actually had a 315 at the College Nationals this year, which was probably. So 320's not that big a stretch now.
It's realistic.
What's he got left in the tank?
Lock the lats. Big pull to the top. It is smooth.
Plenty left in the tank. He gets that one on the board.
I love the belt unclasp. He's good. He knows it. 937.5. And Joseph marching towards that 1,000 kilo total and possibly a 1,000-pound squat.
And I tell you, he's already got that gold medal. It's wrapped up. It's in his pocket. It's ready to go home with him. So right now, we go 337.5. Mohamed Dib from Algeria. This will give him the gold medal in the deadlift temporarily, and it'll move him up into silver medal overall.
17.5 jump from his second.
Yeah, it's certainly a big jump, but this guy's strong. But it's a big jump on the last.
One pull pops him onto the podium, resting in 4th right now. Make room, because here he comes.
This will pull him up to 792.5. And if Hallstrom wants to go after him, he's going to have to outlift his total because he's that bit heavier.
Yep. He'll have to add another 2.5 kilo to his 340, and that's a 12.5 kilo onto his second.
His second was tough.
Can he push the fin beyond his means?
He's got to put this one on the board first.
Big pull just above the knees, and he's fighting to lock his shoulders back.
And
He might have it.
He
Oh,
just couldn't quite hang on. You could see he was just starting to ramp on his leg there anyway.
yeah, it was.
Gave it everything he could. I tell you, he nearly put the screws on them.
It was worth a shot.
He almost put the screws on them. So Holstrom now has the #1 deadlift. And this will move him up into the silver medal overall.
So deadlift gold medal already secure around his neck, but would love to swap his total bronze for a total silver. He's pulled 322.5. We are well beyond that. Uncharted territory. He's going to have to dig deep.
He looks fired up. So he has the deadlift gold in the bag. He has the bronze medal overall in the bag. He wants to trade it for a silver. See if he can make a swap.
He broke. He's at the knees.
No, and it's just a little too much at the end of the day.
Just a
Boy,
little too
what an
much.
effort.
And there
so
you
Penn
have.
takes the gold overall by a long, long way. And Big Ben Rant, he'll take in the silver, and Holstrom will take the bronze. Holstrom gets the gold in the deadlift overall. And Div gets the silver in the dead, and Penn takes the bronze in the dead. What a way to finish.
It's a bit of a preview. Penn still got a couple more years in the juniors. Records are going to fall.
Is he going to deliver in 2 more years?
I tell you what, if he's the first man who was a junior to squat 1,000 pounds or total 1,000 kilo, it's going to be a hard one to break.
Well, don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the medal ceremony. And, of course, plenty more action in Helsingborg tomorrow.
Salve And over small souvenirs for liquor, stay out of contact present, together with the European Public Federation's president, Mr. Arnold Paul from Norway. Welcome. Thank you. Squats, 120 kilograms. Savior goes to Australia, Ian O'Kelly. 235 ladies. Silver medal goes to Poland, Masai Roski, 231 kilograms of the local qualities. The gold medal goes to Russia, Sergei Volkov, 280. Thank you. Benchpress. Roster goes to the Oreo. Alexander, Italian, 150. Silver medal goes to Poland. Masai Zaborski, 160. The gold medal goes to Russia, Sergei Volkov, 170. Thank you. Dedicates, roster goes to Poland, Masai Zaborski, 260. Silver medal goes to South Africa, and iron, 265. Higher. And the gold medal goes to Russia, Sergei Volkov, 305.5. That was a new world record. Thank you, Spasiba. And for the total, in the 130 kilogram class, bronze medal to Georgia, and Alexander Italian, 635.
just one more, yeah. 84 plus. But are they here?
And he's behind. Thank you. Silver goes to Poland. And Battle May, the Sweet Sea 240. And the gold medal goes to USA and about 250. Thank you. In Benchpress, Prosper goes to Poland and Bartholomew to CSC mark to 35. Silver goes to Canada and Yao Fish 140. And the gold medal goes to South Africa, Martin Fonder, earned 150 kilograms. Thank you. Delegates, bronze medal goes to USA, delegate prize 227.5. Silver medal goes also to USA and Andrew Stackley, 240. Gold medal goes to Poland and Bartholomew to CSC 250. Thank you. For the total, plus 150 kilograms, Euro. Bronze medal goes to South Africa and Martin Fonder, 600 kilograms. Silver medal goes to the USA and Andrew Stanley, 632.5. Gold medal world champion for Poland, Bartholomew, UFC 625 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Poland. In the squad, the 120 kilogram junior class goes to the USA bronze medal, to Krista Nazarel, 322.27. Nazarel. Silver medal goes to Turkey, Czech, Kushak, 370. And the gold medal goes to Russia and Dani Erulav, 340. Thank you. The Benchpress, bronze medal goes to USA and Tisa, Nazarel, 250. Silver medal goes to Great and Kiran Gray, 270.5. And the gold medal goes to Ukraine, individual Wolf, 240.5, the world record. Thank you.
Deadlift.
In bronze medal goes to Sweden and Österrike, 325 kgs. Silver medal goes to Braden and Kiran Gray, 327.5. The gold medal goes to Turkey and Czech, Kushak, 352.5. Thank you. And the total. Bronze medal goes to the American and Kiran Gray, 865. Silver medal goes to Ukraine and Dmitro Wolf. 807.5, sorry. And the gold medal and world champion for Turkey, Czech, Kushak, 892.5. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Turkey. Houston, 280 kilograms. Silver medal goes to Reagan and Benchpress in the tag. And the gold medal goes to the USA, Josef Penn, 405 kilograms. All goes. Thank you. And for the Benchpress, bronze medal goes to Algeria and Anouk Diep, 185. Silver medal goes to Reagan and Benchpress, 190. And the gold medal goes to the USA, Josef Penn, 225. Thank you. Thanks. And deadlift. Bronze medal goes to the USA and Josef Penn, 320 kilograms. Silver medal goes to Algeria, Anouk Diep, 320 light powerlifting. And the gold medal goes to Finland, Andre Hillström, 330 kilograms. Thank you. And for Stockholm, bronze medal goes to Finland and Andre Hillström, 782.5. Silver medal goes to Reagan and Benchpress, 790. And the gold medal and world champion from USA, Josef Penn, 937.5 kilograms. Powerlifters around the